Welcome back, rum friends. Today I have yet another brand new rum cocktail. This is number 15 now, I think, on my quest to create 100 brand new rum cocktails for a bigger mission that we'll reveal much further down the line. This cocktail is for anyone that wants to a different slant on rum cocktails. You know, think tiki and tropical and fun and fruity. This is all of those things, but with a different flavour profile, different taste profile. It's kind of got this like bitter sweet element to it. It's absolutely delicious. So let's dive in. But before that, if you like the sound of that, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my future rum creations. Right, so today's cocktail I've called the Bittersweet Bloom. And the first ingredient, I'm going to go for Cuban rum, a lighter style of rum. Remember, I talk you through the ingredients at the end of the video to give you some sort of alternatives just in case you can't get the brands that I've got. So, first ingredient, 40 ml. All right, of this Cuban rum. Right, now there are other spirits coming, higher ABV coming, but I'm just going to do what I normally do, and that's like build out the rum sour element first. So the rum, the citrus, the sweetener. So lime juice, 30 ml, 1 ounce. Then my sweetness is coming from passion fruit syrup. Okay, and I just want 15 ml, half an ounce. Right, now we can build this out with our other ingredients. So the first one, rhubarb gin. This is quite a bold rhubarb gin. 20, what I've done, yeah, 20 ml, 20. I'm going to complement that with some of my Tempus Fugit Gran Classico. Again, I'll describe, just think Campari for this precise moment, but there's a little bit more to it, which I'll talk you through in a second. Again, not much of this, but 10 ml. Then final ingredient, I'm going for some triple sec. Again, I will say this right now, just in case anyone dives off, this is a non-alcoholic triple sec. Not quite a sugar syrup, although it's got a little bit of sweetness to it, like alcoholic triple secs, but this is a non-alcoholic version. Okay, so that will affect your ratios if you're using substitute ingredients. 15 ml, half an ounce. The aromas going on in this tin smell incredible. That rhubarby, that orangey note, the Gran Classico smells absolutely divine. Right, and then after a quick shake, I'm just going to serve this up if I get the right strainer so we can brand match. There we go. This glass, I'm going to serve it over ice. This glass is called a Freddo Old Fashioned. While I'm here, big shout out to Urban Bar. That have given me all their cocktail equipment and glassware. There's a discount code in the description below. So everything we use here is from Urban Bar. Just going to strain that into the cocktail, and then we'll make it look pretty, garnish it up, etc. Do you know what? I think this cocktail what's the word? Epitomizes. There we go. Epitomizes my whole outlook on cocktails. Would I call that tiki? No. Would I call it tropical? No. But is it fun and faff-free and absolutely delicious? Yes, it is. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. The top note is this bittersweet rhubarb sort of layer going on there, but you very quickly get that passion fruit note that comes up there. I love the rum choice because the rum is there, it complements, but it doesn't overshadow, which you sometimes get from rums. We don't want the rum to be the ultimate star of the show. We want the flavour to be the star of the show. That is beautiful. Just got this lovely little orangey note right at the end there. Again, this is another one I was toying with, maybe adding some bitters or different layer in that. Again, because of that Gran Classico, I just think that really works. So let's dive into the ingredients, talk you through, just in case you can't get hold of those ingredients or you want to find something similar that you could use instead. I tell you, that is going to get polished off. That is so delicious. Right, rum. Rum Cocktail, my passion brand as rum. I've been in love with Rum Cocktail for flipping years. Cuban rum. Now, I understand you US viewers can't get Cuban rum. So what I'm going to say here is lighter Spanish origin style of rums. Puerto Rico, for example, Dom Rep, those kind of rums. This is the Añejos. I think it's like a 4 or 5 year old blend in here, so it's got a little bit of depth to it. But the reason I love Spanish origin rums is they're just light and they just work without kind of as I said previously, without kind of being the ultimate star of the show, you get the rum. The rum is flipping tasty, but it complements as opposed to maybe like a Jamaican that takes over. So that's kind of like a 4 or 5 year old Spanish origin rum. The rhubarb gin, well, that is I'm going to say it's a very British ingredient. I'm not sure in the US whether you get rhubarb things, rhubarb gins, rhubarb liqueurs. Here in the UK, I will say we get 2 types of rhubarb gin. We get the real gin, or the real rhubarb, I should say, and the fake rhubarb. This is one of 2 brands that I know of that do things properly. So this is a distilled gin, or properly in my eyes, I should say. It's a distilled gin, so it's a proper sort of London dry. They call it a Dublin dry gin at the base of this. But when gin gets distilled, it goes up to, it's essentially neutral spirit, so it goes up to like 90s ABV. So to cut it down to bottling strength, in this case it should be 40 ABV. So instead, most things would be cut back with water. Vodkas, rums, they're all cut back with water. This is actually cut back with rhubarb juice. Okay, so you like proper rhubarb juice in there. The other brand would be Warner's in the UK. They actually use, to my knowledge, no other brand does this, but actual rhubarb juice, as in they get rhubarb and they press it and they've got juice. Other brands claim to use rhubarb, natural rhubarb. It will be concentrates and stuff like that. So that's why I say proper, because you cannot mistake this is rhubarb just grown in someone's back garden or someone's farm, pressed and juiced, and it's absolutely delicious. Now, Grand Classico should be easy to get worldwide. It's Tempus Fugit, US brands. Tempus Fugit's whole mission is to recreate those spirits of yesteryear. So they're Banan, which I really like, which I always sort of say, look, neat, I much prefer Giffard's, the Banana do Brazil, neat. But in cocktails, that just takes it up another level. And that's what Tempus Fugit do incredibly well. They build liqueurs, modifiers that just make fantastic cocktails. This is my Campari alternative. It's nothing like Campari. It's got like rhubarb notes to it. It's got orange notes to it. It's got other sort of flavours going on in there, but it has got this bitterness to it. It is superb. And personally, I would never go back to Campari again, unless I didn't want those sort of floral, fragrant notes from that. This is just super delicious and really easy to get if you're in the US. Yeah, that's pretty much it now. Full disclosure, look, I think most people realise that I'm in a paid partnership with ABM, so Real, fine as cool. But that's only because I've used the products for probably getting on for a decade now. Probably longer, to be fair. The coconut, the cream of coconut, much longer than that. But I'm a big fan of what they do. I love it. The fruit, everyone thinks these, I jokingly call these mayonnaise bottles. Of course I do, why wouldn't you? Because they do. And some bartenders get the wrong idea of actually the fruit that goes into there. But that is actually the best fruit that any supplier, any puree brand is ever buying, because they work directly with the farmers. They're getting the first crops, the best fruit, which goes into there. So these bottles, even though they are 40% fruit, 60% sugar, so they're ready to go, that 40% fruit is 100% fruit puree, unlike many other brands that will be concentrates of flavour compounds and stuff like that. So the fruit that goes into there is the best of the best. Yes, you could get 90% products and 100% products, but you still got to blend them with sugar yourself, which you're effectively then going to get exactly the same sort of thing, probably just with lesser quality fruit, because Real are buying, or ABM are buying up the best of the best fruit. So, use the best. Of course, you use whatever you want. But what I will say, if you use it as syrup, as opposed to a puree infused syrup, they're just going to be slightly thinner. So you're just going to have to adjust your things. And then, as I said, mentioned, this is a non-alcoholic orange, a triple sec. I personally use it because if I do cocktail masterclasses and I've got non-drinkers, pregnant hens, those sort of things that want mocktails, margaritas and things like that, I've then got a non-alcoholic triple sec, as opposed to even Giffard, which I love, is still 20%, something like that, or unless you get the 40% one. So for me, I do like using non-alcoholic stuff if I can, because it just keeps the non-drinkers included. Oh, and that is flipping, oh my God, that is so good. That might be, in a different way, one of my favourites that I've made so far. So comments, I always like to see these. How would you riff this up? What rums would you use if you can't get Cuban, which will be the vast majority of you? Would you swap different ingredients, different brands? Would you think actually that could do with cherry blossom? We've got a brand new cherry blossom liqueur there. That could do with some cherry blossom. Like what liqueurs, what modifiers would you think, oh, that would work really well in there? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these. And talking of more of these, we're going to put another creation that I've made up there. Cheers. See you in the next one.